stream.
Waiting, giving a few seconds, and let's see. All right. I think we're live.
Looks like it. Waiting for Runner Airsoft.
Well, hopefully. Well, yeah, it also says that over here. So, but I am not getting a green light.
In reality, they're all watching us right now.
Right. In reality, they're watching us right now going, guys, you're live.
A bunch of dorks.
Yeah, I'm not actually getting a green light on the program, which is generally not a good thing. I don't know why I have such problems with this. Like, I don't change anything.
Okay. I think we're good to go here.
I don't think we
Not
are.
recording yet. I don't see anything here yet.
No.
Oh, there's 5 people watching, though.
Okay, there's the green light. All right.
Hey!
We'll go now. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Royce. I am your runner. Welcome back to another live stream. And there we are. Okay, people were, in fact, watching us. Welcome back to another live stream. A couple of channel updates. I have new gear, so I'm very, very happy about that. Right here.
You botched your intro.
Yeah, I did. No, I wasn't getting the green light on the program. I don't know why the program has such problems. So, thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. My special guest, Ross Demidio from RDD Airsoft Works.
As always, a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, awesome. So a few channel updates for the future. I'm actually after I get the Chernobyl finale out, I'm going to do some gear reviews. I'm actually going to do an entire loadout review, something I've never done on the channel. Well, loadout overview, talking about everything that I got for my new loadout, how I put it together, and then I will probably do individual gear things, specifically for like the plate carrier and maybe how I set up my belt, and then probably my boots. Those are the important things. So I'm going to do those. Also, if you guys have please don't. If you guys have any ideas for what you would like us to talk about on the live stream, I want you guys to go over to Facebook and either message me or post in the community posts and just say, hey, here's an idea you guys could talk about on on YouTube live streams on Friday night. And without any further ado, Ross, thanks so much for joining, man.
Happy to be back, as always.
Yeah. So Ross and I actually were having a conversation earlier this week about hit recognition, and not like receiving a hit, but shooting at somebody and landing a hit, and the things that you as a player sending BBs downrange should probably recognize. So that way you're not out there calling somebody out for cheating or anything like that when they are in fact not cheating.
Yeah.
And one of the
This is going to be a controversial show.
well, this might be controversial, and one of the things that that I've absolutely done this thing, but I recognized it, and I didn't call anybody out for it. But Ross made mention that he went to breach a building at one of our local fields. We won't name the field or anything to keep it a little bit ambiguous.
Then the field doesn't.
But he went to go,
matter.
but he went to go breach, and this guy was completely not ready for the game. So one of the things when you're ready to shoot at somebody in an airsoft game, just make sure you're ready. So you breach the building, and the guy was kind of mad at you for a second, and then you pointed out how he was not ready and how he did not, in fact, hit you. So take it away from there.
Yeah. So, you want me to actually tell the story?
Yeah, tell the story, because this is something very important. If you're putting BBs down range, don't call somebody a cheater on the field. First of all, like period. Always give the other player the benefit of the doubt, because the one thing that I hate worse than a cheater is somebody screaming across the field. Call your hits. That actually bothers me more than a person not calling their hits.
And it becomes a no-win situation for the person being called out, whether they're right or wrong, whether you're misinterpreting what you're doing downrange or whether the player is genuinely cheating. Either way, it becomes a no. As soon as somebody calls you out, it becomes a no-win situation for that person.
Absolutely.
Which can, it can ruin the game for people.
Really quick, one of the announcements I wanted to make, guys, if you're watching this live stream, do me a favor. The biggest thing that you guys can do to help this channel out, if you enjoy what I'm doing, share it. I don't care if you guys like, comment, and subscribe. You can do that. That is wonderful. But sharing it really helps to get out some of this information that we're trying to share, especially with newer players, less experienced players, or even players that have been around a while that, want to hear some of their things that they care about and Airsoft talked about. So the biggest thing you can do for this channel, share it. Like, comment, and subscribe. Those are wonderful, and I do appreciate it. But the ultimate sticky star that I could give you guys next to your name is please just share this video with everybody that you know.
And with that, I have a super exciting announcement to make at the end of this video.
Yes.
You know what
By
it is,
the way,
so stay tuned. We have got something.
Yes, and also, as always on my live streams, we'll be doing Q&A for the last 10 to 15 minutes of the show. Ross, you breach a building, and this player was not ready and did call you out for cheating. However...
So I'm going to actually preface this story and start off by saying this topic itself, the entirety of this topic is very uncomfortable to talk about. Mm-hmm. It's I'm not really sure
because it almost feels like we're calling out other players.
It feels like we're calling out other players or coming off like we're better and you should do this, and that is not at all where this topic or where this whole stream is meant to go. These are some of the so the story we're about to tell. Most of us can probably relate and are guilty of this in one way or another.
I've actually...
Things that we have over the years, these are things that we've had to self-check ourselves on and learn with. And they're things that every player, anyone who plays Airsoft should be doing and self-checking to make the game better for themselves and better for the players around them that they're playing with and shooting against. So keep an open mind through this stream because it's going to be a little bit. I feel like there's going to be some controversy with
this might feel like we're calling people out, and we are definitely not calling people out. It's just
except for that runner guy. God damn,
screw you.
That guy cheats like you would not believe.
Oh! I'm sorry, my Bluetooth speaker was still on. I apologize. That was my fault, guys. I apologize. Wow. I'm just trying to monitor the stream. Okay, let's get back into it.
Disclaimers out of the way.
All right, so you breach a building.
Yeah, so basically what happened, this was a large building. I mean, it really doesn't, it's breaching barn. We all know where I'm talking about.
Yep.
Again, this has absolutely nothing to do with the field itself. This can occur anywhere. Anyway, so we were playing a game. I breached the structure, and when I came in, the player and I popped the corner. I took 2 shots, capped him in the plate carrier, and he fired back, of course. And if certain circumstances weren't in place, it would have been a straight trade. Both of us are hit. Good call. We walk out. He did not hit me. There's
reasons why, guys. Stay to the end of this story and you'll find out why. It's important that he doesn't tell you why yet.
So generally speaking, I mean, if I breach a building and somebody pulls a string like, hey, I hit you in the carrier, all right, you got me.
Yep.
And we shake hands and walk out. But in this particular situation, there is physically no possible way that this guy could have hit me.
Yeah.
So anyway, he got loud with me. I popped the corner. I took 2 shots. He took a shot. I hit him. He called the hit, and then he immediately started going off me like, "Are you really not going to call that? Are you serious?" I finished clearing through the building. I wasn't sure if there's anybody else in there. Finished it, and this whole time, this guy is following me around and just yelling at me like, "Are you really going to keep playing right now, dude? I capped you in the plate carrier like 10 times. What the hell are you doing?" Finished clearing the building, turned around to acknowledge him. And he's like, "Dude, I can't believe you're going to cheat like this." And I politely pointed out, well, generally speaking, I'd give you the benefit of the doubt, but I don't see how a BB could have hit me when you have no magazine in your rifle and a barrel bag still on your gun. And I felt bad pointing that out to him, but he looked down and he went silent and realized, oh. And I will give the player credit after that. He's like, "Man, I'm sorry. Wow." I was like, "Dude, don't worry about it." We shake hands with the rest of the day, played, and it was great. But it was the point is a lot of times we realize, well, actually I'll let you, it's your show, so you go with that. Basically we ended up with
so one of the how many times have you gone out on the field and realized in game like you weren't ready before game was on?
I cannot tell you
now the only thing that bothers me with is And it's something that I have held back myself on my channel personally. In real life, maybe not so much, but in Airsoft, absolutely. But when he was like, "Hey, I saw BBs bounce off your plate carrier,"
it's like,
I don't know if you told that part of the story. You have told me off.
Yeah,
he was
the
guy.
Did mention that
The guy was like, "Hey, I saw BBs bounce off your plate carrier," and it's like, but okay, that there's no possible way because you had a barrel bag on your replica, and if he was using the field barrel bags that they sell,
yep,
those things are very thick and very heavy, and I don't actually know of a replica that could puncture through those things.
I mean,
but anyway, I digress.
If you punch enough rounds into it back to back, you can get through it.
But
of course. The fact of the matter is, even if he did have a BB in the chamber, he didn't have a mag, so there's nothing to follow
up. And that was the thing is, like, I have absolutely run into an airsoft match and totally not been ready. My biggest fault is you go to pull that trigger, nothing happens, and you look down and your replica's on safety. I've how many times have you done that?
Especially with the Titan?
Oh, because there's no, because it doesn't stop, and so that does happen. So, but absolutely recognizing when, like, just make sure you're ready for the game. Make sure you're cocked, locked, and ready to rock. Which is an old school statement I actually heard from my cousin back in the day. But just make sure you're ready to go. Make sure mag's in. Opposite of staging, because for here, mags out, weapons clear up, barrel bags on.
Yep.
When the game is on, mag in, weapon loaded, barrel bag off. And this was a certain instance where a player didn't realize that they were that they had not prepared for the game, which is not bad. We've all done it. I've absolutely run in and I pull it up and I see that blazing red or blue barrel bag on the end of my replica and I go, oh snap. Now, generally when I do that, I've done it a couple of times, not many, but I have done it a couple of times. I pull my barrel bag off and then I have to fit it in my pocket because I always put my barrel bags in the same place because I'm particular like that. I'll put them in the same pocket. And then as soon as I pop that corner, I get nailed and I walk back to respawn.
I cannot tell you how many times, like, anybody who's played with me knows I'm a super upbeat, energetic player. I cannot tell you how many times I've gotten to the field, first game of the day, and I am just so pumped and ready to just get out there and just start playing. And I just, it's barrel bags off. I'm so ready and sprint.
No mag.
Click. All right, let's try this again.
Yep.
I cannot tell you how many times, and I have genuinely too. I've had instances where switch the roles. I've freaking right off the bat, start off the game, came flying. We're playing Alamo. Went flying into the building, and I'm just freaking just pop, and I get hit. And I'm like, how did I not hit any of these guys? Look down. Oh God, I don't have a magazine in. And that's why you keep your mouth shut and you don't call your hit.
And that's exactly. And no, and you're 100% right, dude. I've done it before. I've done it before many times. And here's the one thing. Staging in between games. Mm-hmm. How many times have you forgotten to load a magazine in between games? So you throw the mag in, but because you didn't prepare for the game before you went in, you're shooting and you go, what's wrong? Why am I? And you pull it out and there's not a BB1 in your replica. How many times have you done that?
So truthfully, off the top of my head, I can't think of a time. I'm sure I've done it, but I can't think of a time that I have.
Well, and so that may be where you and I are different. You forget to
to put the mag in.
Yeah. So you forget to put the mag in your replica. I forget to put ammo in the mag. You're at
the field and you're in a good story. You guys are just all talking and we're having a great time, and we go out to play. And it's just completely spaced.
Yep.
You gotta put BBs in your gun.
Yeah. I've done that so many times.
Same here.
I've done that so many times, and I'm like, why is it this thing? And I pull it out, and I'm like, oh.
So and I guess where this is going is kind of things to acknowledge and things to keep in mind. No, it's more of
knowing what to do to make sure you're hitting your target. And and recognizing the things that will help you to hit your target and help you to keep controversy off the field. Exactly. That's the whole purpose of this show.
It goes two ways. It can be someone is genuinely cheating and ruining the game, and every single one of us, if you play Airsoft, you've experienced.
I never call it out on my channel, but you guys can absolutely go through. Videos of mine. And you can see where there were players who didn't call their hits. I generally don't say anything about it, but if you guys have a savvy enough eye, you can go through my channel and you can actually see. Keep in mind, guys, every single video that I go through while I'm editing it. In certain instances, especially when I get hit or when another player gets hit, I go through these videos frame by frame. And there are, I think some of the smaller videos have 40,000 individual frames. And I go through frame by frame. Sometimes I do zoom and enhance, especially when it's questionable. I had a player call me out one time and they were like, hey, I was over here and I totally shot you. I went back. And this was after I posted the video. It was a younger player, a little girl. And I went back and I watched the video. And I'm looking at it, and sure enough, and I don't know how I didn't catch this during, and she was not mad at all. And I don't know how I didn't catch, but I don't know how I didn't catch it during editing. But after I posted the video, she's like, hey, I caught you here at this timestamp. And I was like, oh, okay. And I went and I looked, and sure enough, there's a BB that flies in on the lower part of the screen. And then you hear a loud audible, and I'm like,
hit the camera?
No.
I
couldn't figure out I couldn't figure out where it was hitting. Now in game, I remember hearing that. I remember where I was and I was like, oh, it hit the wood next to me. But now I'm watching the video and I'm going, no, those angles are wrong. There's no way. There's no way that did not hit me. And I'm like, how did I not feel this thing? What's going? And I'm watching the video and I realize it was a game with my Masada. Mm-hmm. I hung my Masada, pulled my pistol. My Masada is now draped down. She hit the Masada.
So at the field you were playing at, just out of curiosity, did that?
Regardless, it doesn't matter because I wasn't wearing the Masada as a replica. I was wearing it as a piece of gear because just like a pistol. Because if the pistol's holstered, and now I don't know if this is their rules, but if you have a pistol holstered and it hits your pistol, still counts, right? So if you have a rifle, so in my mind, if I have a rifle slung across me and I'm using my pistol because I was checking around a corner, it was just easier. But I'm watching and I go, you totally hit me.
And I just learned something because I never run slings usually. Mm-hmm. I had one rifle I wore on a 1-point sling, but I almost never ran a pistol. Now that I'm starting to run a pistol, that never occurred to me. If it hits your pistol, that's part of your gear. Or if you sling your rifle, that's no longer a rifle. It's no longer a gun hit.
That's part of your gear.
And here we are, the whole topic of this video.
Yeah, and I totally 100%. But she never called me out on the field. She never said anything. And it was when the video came out, and she was like, "Hey, right here." And I was like, and I watched, and I was like, "You're 100% right." I was like, "I am so sorry," because in game, just that audible sound,
right?
And I never even, because I was looking over here and the BB came in from here. It actually came in from here. I didn't even see it in my peripheral. And I just heard a pop and I was like, oh crap, I thought it hit the wood. But she pointed it and I was like, you're totally right. I am so sorry. But it does happen, guys. Things like that do happen. But the thing is she addressed me respectfully, even on my channel. And I was like, I am so sorry. If I would have realized, you would have hit me. But that was the thing is, I think she gave me the benefit of the doubt. She's like, I don't know how old she is. She's younger than 12, maybe. Mm-hmm. And she gave me the benefit of the doubt. And I was like, that's huge. Like, thank you. And she told me later and I was like, no, but now I think about that, now it was a learning experience for me to think about because in that instance, her target recognition was dead on. She did everything right. I got a little in the moment, didn't realize where it hit, so on and so forth.
That's something I didn't even never would have. That is something I've never thought of because a gun hit in every field I think in Colorado, it's a gun hit.
A gun hit is a gun hit. If you're using,
it never occurred to me. It's no longer.
But if you sling
if it's slung, even if it's on your front, if you're on your sidearm, that's no longer. That never once occurred to me. 10 years I've been doing this. That has never once occurred to me. Okay, good to know.
Yeah, and she, like I said, she was totally respectful. So there's that, and like I said, her target recognition was on, and she never called me out, and that was so great of her not to do, because she could have easily been like, dude, I hit you. Mm-hmm. Now on the field, I'd have been like, whoa, and you could have seen that a lot. So in your instance, mag out, barrel bag was on. I've done it. I've totally done it. So making sure you're prepared for a game, making sure you're recognizing where your sounds and stuff are coming from is totally important. Now, one of the things that I really, really want to address, because we've addressed, make sure you're ready for the game when you go out on the field and recognize always go, that player didn't call it. Did I do something? Do a quick check, fire at the ground, go, no, I'm good. And then at that point, you can probably start to lay blame. always check yourself before you check someone else, because guess what? It's harder to check another person than it is to check yourself. And that's kind of where I'm at.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
That's kind of where this whole live stream is supposed to go.
We
self-checking before addressing another. Because obviously there's always been, everyone who's ever played Airsoft has dealt with that cheater who is just, it is blatant. But there is a lot of times, many times, I think this is where you're going next, where we as players don't...
may I do one thing?
You may.
You know the one cheaters that I do forgive the most?
Shoot.
The guys who are getting spawn camped.
Yeah.
Because at that point you can just see their frustration building, and I've been on the receiving end of spawn camping, and I have been the guy that was like, okay, we're spawn camping, let's bail. If you start to see that frustration and you're like, I get it. That because that is frustrating.
It's not right, but at the same time, is it really morally right to be spawn camping? You know?
Well, we're out there to play a game.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. And it's not fun if nobody's pointing back.
Right.
At least that's my viewpoint.
You may be having a blast laying into their spawn, they can't do anything, but how is the other player thinking? That's again something else too with Airsoft is we think as we play, we all go out there to play, we all go out there to have a good time, and rightfully so, each of us are worried about ourselves when we're out there. What am I doing? I'm out here to play, I want to have a good time. But it's equally as important for us to think about the guy that is standing next to us, who's covering our back, and it's equally important to think about the guy you're shooting at downrange. You know, are you taking care of yourself so much that you're ruining the day for the guy downrange? You know, spawn camping is an example. Well, you may be having a blast there because they can't do anything, and we're kicking butt. It's awesome, but how much fun is the other team having?
Yeah.
In the end, we're out there to have fun. It's a game, and we play it because we enjoy it. This isn't a real war. It's not it's not a situation where it's our lives or theirs, and if we don't take them out, then we're done for. We're out there to play. We're out there to shoot BBs at each other.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so what's the other thing that you wanted to bring up?
This was mainly your show, my guy. I think the other one you had just talked about was understanding your rifles or your handgun or whatever you're using, understanding your replica's capability. We can fact check ourselves, but understanding what is our replica capable of doing.
Yeah.
And understanding I'm losing my
essentially it's range and accuracy.
Kind of understand, yeah, exactly. Understanding
it's range, it's accuracy, it's if you're on semi or full, how quick it can spit those things out.
So I don't know about you guys. A lot of you know me know I'm blind in one eye. All right, I was born blind in my right eye. I have some mild peripheral, but for the most part, I don't see very well out of it, if at all. And for that reason, with that, I have no depth perception. I see beautifully out of my left eye. I have 20/20 vision out of my left, but I have no depth perception. So one thing I've come to understand with range of a rifle, we've all been there where we have someone shooting at us and we see the BBs dropping way short, and they're yelling at you, "Call your hit, and you're watching the guy shooting at you, and the BBs are dropping 20, 30 feet shy of you. Now, I have issues when I'm tracking my BBs. I can track them just so far, and then I lose them. So I don't know exactly how well someone with proper vision can track.
So for me, and now it takes learning. Okay. It does take a learning curve.
This is probably better for you to talk about since you can actually see.
No. So here's the thing. When I first started Airsoft, I would say 400 FPS or 1.5 joules. I could track out to probably 125, 150. Now, because my eyes are adjusted for it, my brain's adjusted for it, I can track much further than that with no scope. I can track up to about 200 feet, maybe a little bit more, give or take. If there's like a dark background, I can track up to about probably 250 feet, lobbing BBs.
Without magnification?
Without magnification. With a dark background. Because, BBs are white. Yep. We always play with white biodegradable BBs. Mm-hmm. Now, without a dark background behind that BB, maybe 175, maybe 180.
So I can
now with magnification, I can track as far as my replica can shoot up until it drops off. Once that BB goes from straight path to drop off, I can't. Now at that point, it doesn't matter. But with magnification, and we're talking 3 to 4 times, I don't use anything more than that for airsoft. It's not necessary. It's really nice, especially I'll just use 3 times. That BB goes from 6mm to 8mm all the way out, or to 18mm all the way out, which is, it's nicer. It's just easier. And that is the only purpose for me for airsoft is to have a magnified optic, is to track it out as far as I can.
So when I'm testing rifles in the shop, I actually have I've got a 12 time magnification scope I keep in the desk, and a lot of times I'll use that when I'm testing rifles, when I'm trying to confirm a range. For that reason, under magnification, I can see them out to where they drop. When I'm not running magnification, when I'm running my rifles, I do rely fairly heavily on my red dot once it's dialed in, because it's once the BB gets out of the barrel and it comes up into the dot, wherever range that may be. I'm not talking about the 20 arc. I'm talking to just you get 10, 20 feet out of your barrel, and then your BB comes into line with your red dot. At that point, I start to have some issues trying to find the BB. Again, without magnification. With magnification, obviously, it's easier. We're most surprised seeing this. Once you're magnified, you can track the BB a lot better.
And that's the thing, is recognizing, I think this is a very important point, recognizing your ability to track a BB. Because there might be, there's been times for me, I'm just like, am I even close to that guy? There have been times where I'm like, how did I not? How am I not close to that guy? Like, I had to, at least make him flinch. And because I run cameras, and because I run zoom cameras, I come back home and I frame by frame, and I'm like, man, I know I was, and I look, but I don't say anything on the field, and I look and I realize I was nowhere close.
So I've had a number of times.
And by nowhere close, I mean, I don't mean that I was within 6 inches. I mean that I was a foot to 2 feet off. My BBs were hopping up, and I didn't realize that I had overhop. I didn't realize that, you know what I mean? Like being able to train your eyes to track your BBs. Pistols, I'm better with my rifles. Pistols, if I have to do a quick snapshot around the corner, I am not trained well enough to track that BB. And that's the thing, is it does take a certain amount of optical training to see your BBs, to be able to track them, because you have to train your brain to process information that fast. Because regardless, you'll see that BB, but your brain won't process it because of miles an hour. But you get
they're moving. Really,
but they're moving.
Fast.
They're like 60, 70, whatever it happens to be. And that's the thing, is
quick maths.
So just FPS to miles per hour. Just Google FPS to miles per hour, and just do 400. Just do 400 for now. So
I was gonna actually do the math. If you're just gonna Google, I'm just let you Google it.
Yeah, no, Google. Google is amazing for stuff like this.
Kind of going on that point. So I've had a couple of scenarios where I've been lucky enough where game has. I'll be playing peekaboo with somebody. We'll be shooting back and forth, 150, 200 feet away from each other. We're going back and forth. So, and for as long as I can see the BB, it's dead on.
Okay, so according to Google, 400 feet per second is 272 miles per hour.
So really fast. And when you look at the scale of that projectile, it's fast.
Yeah, and so training your mind to see something that fast, that's something that you have to get used to. Don't always just assume that they're cheating. There is a chance, and especially as those things get further out, there's a chance you're not tracking it well enough. I'm guilty of it. I've totally been guilty of it. Mm-hmm. And that's part of the reason that I leave the times that I die in my YouTube channel. That's part of the reason that sometimes I will I will cut in footage in my YouTube channel of my Zoom camera showing me, like, guys, I missed this guy totally, because you can see it blatantly in some of my footage. Because I am sometimes imperfect. And that is one of the biggest things that you can do, is learn train yourself. Shoot. If you have the ability to go to an open field somewhere, somebody has a really big backyard or a really big property, go.
Or even just shoot at the field.
Yeah, just go to a field where you're safe, or go somewhere where you're safe, where you can pull your replica out. Again, be 100% safe about it, and just shoot at a target. Just the shoot far away. Go okay, okay, cool, and then aim a little higher, and aim a little higher, and aim and learn how to arc. And get used to seeing your BBs move at that speed, because over the course of time you'll get used to it, and your eyes will adjust, and your brain will go, okay, we're processing fast now.
So also understand the physics of a BB too versus a firearm. Mm-hmm. You've got a sphere. Now, we all know the Magnus effect, hop up, lets our BBs travel farther because we have backspin on them. It carries, it fights gravity.
Yes.
But at the same time, anything else hitting that BB, because a BB inherently is unstable. It's a sphere traveling through the air. A bullet is
it's the think of muskets. Think of muskets.
Yeah. Muskets is an excellent example. You get a projectile out of a 9mm handgun.
That being said, if we had the ability to backspin muskets back in the day, we actually
how
believe
are you going to sight it in, though? You can't see that thing going through the air.
Essentially through magnification and just targets, what we do with normal rifles now.
Fair enough. Remember, I don't do a whole lot of real steel.
That being said, if you said, you overhop a freaking musket ball, it's gonna land. If that musket ball is gonna land somewhere, but a musket is a great example. Please don't kick that over.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I got you.
But no. But yeah, just the learning how to track, understanding how fast your BBs are moving, and realizing that if you've ever been to a drag race, Bandimere Speedway is here in Colorado. When cars are booking it at hundreds of miles an hour, it's hard to track a car over a quarter mile, let alone a BB over a few hundred feet.
Right.
That's just this,
like you said. You got a spherical projectile that is affected by pretty much anything that could hit it. I've had a couple of times I've been lucky where we're coming up towards the end of a game. I'm going back and forth with someone. We're shooting back and forth. Game ends, and it's like, okay, from what I could see, as far as I could track my BB, he was flying pretty dead on target. But I'm losing sight. I lost sight of my BB before it got to the player. Now, their hand's not going up, so either more than likely I'm not hitting them, or I am.
Which is always the assumption you should make. More than likely you are not hitting them.
And going to finish that story, there's been a number of times I've been in a situation like that, and the game ends. It's like, okay, cool. I'm going to go talk to this player and see where I was actually landing.
I have totally done that.
Find out your BBs are right on track until about 30 feet out, and all of a sudden they're going, because, in the specific situation I'm thinking of is actually wind coming through a corridor. So there was 2 containers. Right, I'm shooting down, and right as my BB was passing through, so he's on the back container. You got a little hallway with just open space, and the wind's blowing. So as my BB's going through there, at that point I'd lost sight of it. My BB's dead on, and right as it hit that corridor, it was curving and going nowhere near him.
Because of the wind.
After talking to the player, I understood. Oh, excellent. So it's you give the benefit of the doubt, because now let's look at the other side of the scenario. What if I had sat there and called him out on the other side of the field? Hey, call your hit, and I'm nowhere near him.
Yeah.
What does that do to him? Mm-hmm. It's a no-win situation. One of two things happens now. Either
he's going to confront you.
Yeah, he's either going to actually it could go one of 3 ways. He could either start yelling back, which now you've got a bad situation.
That is the worst situation.
B, you make him feel like crap, and he calls a hit that is unjustified because I didn't hit him. Mm-hmm. Or he approaches me afterwards like, you didn't hit me, but, well, that's what a cheater's going to say. So it's at that point, the second you call a player out, it is a no-win situation for them. And I have had, actually, go ahead, but come back to CQB.
Oh, yeah.
I've got another story I want to tell that goes along with this in situations.
So one of the wonderful day out on the field is actually one of the first days I got the Masada back out after I'd fixed the broken gearbox.
I still can't believe that thing performed as well as it did on that. That's amazing. I know. Anyway, carry on.
My Masada breaks your brain.
It does. That gun that gun performing as well as it does with that cracked gearbox is I have no explanation. I have no clue. Didn't even try to touch that one.
No.
Royce broke physics. Congratulations.
So we're out on a field. Sean Galloway actually had shown up to FAF. I had a local player. He put like one video up. He's terrible at editing video and he admits it, but his name is Akira. And this guy, dude, he's good. Yeah. And by good I mean his snap shooting is insane.
I know a dude we call it's
remember when we went down to LZ. Hold on. Do you remember when we went down to LZ?
Yeah.
Akira, you were kind of like, hey, buddy, at the end of the day.
That's everybody.
No. But at the end of the day, he was in the green Asian guy. But anyway, he was.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
So hold on. He's ridiculously good. And just guys, Akira. This is so crazy. His map recognition is unparalleled. He's shooting. There's a wall here. He pops, right? So let's just use the microphone. So if you guys can see the microphone, here's the wall, right? He pops, shoots. All of a sudden, BBs fly past his head. He looks over, identifies you, pops behind the wall, comes back out, and you're done.
I know a guy like that, Carson. I played him a lot, and that dude, but
you understand, it takes him a split. It takes Akira a split second to recognize where you are on the field, map the field out, get his spatial awareness out. And here's the thing: he points his replica at you before he pops the wall, and then rips the trigger.
So like you said, Carson.
Okay, so but so before we go into deep dive stories,
yeah.
I'm trying to say who was on the field at the time, right? So I get the Masada working, and there are two instances. Sean Galloway was out there, and I love seeing Sean. And we're at FAF, and this is a good story. So Akira and I are trading fire, and he doesn't have a 20 arc. He's got like a 50 arc. It's ridiculous. He's also running HPA as well, so that's gonna happen. But he's just over my head. You know, he's just over my head, and I'm like, and so I just stopped shooting at him. Because I'm getting close, but I just stopped shooting because I'm just having a good time that day. And I'm like, hey, and I'm like down, and I'm pointing at him and I'm telling him to walk his BBs down, and that way, and all of a sudden he hits me. I go, you're good. I did that for one of two reasons. One, I was having an absolute blast on the field that day, and I didn't care who I was hitting. And two, it was because, hey, maybe at the distance he gets in a similar situation, and now he recognizes that he's flying over somebody's head, and I can help him out. And then Sean Galloway, transversely, is on the other end of the field that day. I got the Masada working, and I'm like, hey, Sean. I'm waving back and forth. It's like, Sean, can I hit you? And Sean goes, and literally, and dude, God, I don't even know how far, 250 maybe with the Masada. I'm sitting there shooting, and And I did hit him, and I was at my max range with the Masada. Like I was lobbing him in. I think he said I caught him in the leg, and he's like barely, but he fell over. And I was like, Sean, did I seriously hit you? He goes, yeah, dude. He goes, the others were a little off. He's like, but that one, dude, it definitely hit me. And so that's one of the things that you can do is that, if you get buddies on the opposite team, be like, hey man, if you know I'm shooting at you, like, help me out.
And vice versa.
And just recognize where you're shooting, because stuff like that's going to help you know where you're hitting people. So just do things like that to learn how to track your BBs. We have been on that tracking BBs topic for a little while, so I do want to move on. I know you have other stories, but I really want to move on.
So we're
sound.
Actually, that kind of plays in on this.
Okay. If that plays in on this,
it sort of does. It kind of goes back to what you do to a player when you call them out on things. So having been on the receiving end of that a number of times. So the one thing that ruined the one thing that ruins Airsoft for me personally. I get in this situation a lot, and I bite my tongue every time, but it sucks, and I hate it. The biggest thing that ruins Airsoft for me is in a CQB situation. Actually, I don't really know if I want to tell this because I don't want to come off as calling anybody out.
Well,
but maybe I don't know.
And here's the thing: CQB situations get really heated.
They can.
And the one thing that I always default to in CQB is I didn't hit them.
Right.
And there have absolutely been times where I'm like, they call it, and I'm like, did I?
It's like, wait, I did get you?
I'm like, I did, and they're like, yeah, no, you got. I'm like, are you sure? Like, I'm like, did you? And like, or I will stop and I'll be like, hey, I literally especially when you're, me to the wall, which is 5 more feet past you, and you go, hey, I didn't feel anything. Did you hit me? Nah, bro, you got me. I'm like, dude, are you sure? And they're like, dude, my mag's empty. That's actually happened to me. They're like, dude,
really?
My mag's, yeah. I actually, believe it or not, out at APC Outdoor.
So
some of the regulars there, that happened to me. I'm like, dude, did I? I was like, I thought I got you, and they're like, dude, you totally got me. And they're like, did you hit me? Like, no, dude, I didn't. I'm like, are you sure? In a CQB situation, especially because I'm always recording. I am always recording. So if there is a chance that you think you got me, you tell me.
Mm-hmm.
And if I see it in video, I will call myself in video out. I've done it a few times on my channel. If you think you got me, tell me. I'll call it. I don't care if you did or not. Because there's no way I could feel a hit, especially if you bounce them off my mags, if you hit them in a certain padded area on my plate carrier. You know what I mean?
So okay. For educational reasons, I will tell this, and I'm going to preface it again by saying that I'm really uncomfortable talking about this because there's no real good way for me to discuss it, but this ruins the game for me a lot. So, I love to breach. I love getting up close and personal with my opponents. There have been some amazing trades and some amazing situations.
Ross,
where that was
God, and
awesome.
I hate that you got me saying this, but Ross does not hop a fence. Ross yeets a fence. I've literally been
over physically. Okay, I got you. Physically over a fence, green wall.
By the way, no, just in the chicken coop. I have you on video yeeting by the chicken coop.
Yes, over the fence, over green wall. I got you. Anyway,
if Ross is just like he's like, I'm not going around that. I'm just gonna go over it. God,
yeet. Anyway, so CQB is super fun. I should rephrase more mount because I love you're engaging building to building and then all of a sudden you're room to room. Breaching, and that is the biggest adrenaline kicker, but it's also the biggest. It also has the most potential to ruin my day.
I have something in my eye. I apologize for people who this looks weird to. I'm sorry. There's something in my eye.
Just about every single time I breach a building, with the exception of once or twice, I'm pretty much guaranteed to have to call myself out, regardless of whether I got hit. Because oftentimes we as players assume when we get that close, we get 5 feet out, even 10 feet out, if our barrel is pointed anywhere in the region of our opponent and we pull the trigger, there is no possible way that you missed. And I will tell you from firsthand experience, I've pulled the trigger on somebody this far away and smacked the wall behind them. I've
done it. I've totally done it. I have 100% done it.
But there are so many times, almost every time I breach a building, I have to call the hit, even though I didn't get hit, because that no-win situation. The second somebody calls you out, whether you got hit or not, the second you call somebody out, it's a no-win situation for that player.
I know what you're talking about.
That is the biggest thing that ruins.
I have had it happen to me.
You're pretty much guaranteed if you're going into the building, you're going back to spawn, or you're calling for medic. Unless
you know what I've had to do in that situation.
Shoot.
Hey man, I'm sorry, dude. I didn't feel it. We got gear. No, dude, you're totally fine. And I shake hands with him, and I just make good, and then I just go. And it does suck. And here's the thing, dude, I'm running cameras.
So you have that going for you too.
I'm running cameras.
You've got
and I do go back and I do review the footage. And I am not saying this to dog on any players, but man, I go back and I have 3 cameras on me, and I go back and I know the sound of dry fire. Mm-hmm. I know the sound of dry fire. I've done it.
Everyone has. If you've got an airsoft gun, you're dry fired.
Hey, I hit you. Oh, dude, I'm sorry, man. I didn't feel it. I apologize. And I walk back and I go back and I review the footage and I'm like, they didn't shoot a BB. And it does get frustrating. It does. Mm-hmm. And taking the high road in airsoft like that, especially when you're on a good high from that game.
On a good run, yeah.
Like they're just like, and then all of a sudden they're like, hey, I hit you, and you're just like,
okay.
All right, man. Hey, dude, I'm sorry. I didn't feel it. I have gone back. I have reviewed the footage.
So you have your cameras, which you have your benefit. 99% of us have to rely on our honor, and sometimes maintaining your honor is calling a hit that didn't
And that's
hit
the thing, dude. And because I've been there. Because I'm not going to say that it doesn't happen because I'd be lying. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say that people haven't actually hit me and I haven't felt it. Because the fact of the matter is that, hey, I hit you. I'm like, oh, dude, I'm sorry.
I've too. Every one of us has had this happen too, where a player does hit you and you genuinely don't notice it, and that player respectfully comes and says, "Hey, tagged in your backpack." Okay, yeah.
I'm running a backpack now. I am so concerned about that.
You'll hear it, and if you don't,
okay.
I mean, it's gear. It's going into the sound there. There are times, no matter how honest of a player you are, no matter how honorable of a person you are, every single person is going to take a hit at some point that they just genuinely don't realize. And that kind of goes into the
let's get into sound. Let's get into sound because the whole point of this is to talk about not being on the receiving end, but being on the giving end of airsoft.
Yes, it's us as players, us understanding things.
Sound is hugely important. And I am really glad that the replicas that I have are fairly noisy. And when they run dry, they let me know. Because there is a very, very distinct crack. Mm-hmm. And I would recommend to anybody. I've looked over at younger players. It more so tends to be the younger players with high cap magazines. Mm-hmm. Versus the guys with mid caps, but it more so tends to be. I've done it. I've totally done it. I've totally done it with my mid caps. Mm-hmm. Know the sound of, and Bill Convoy Bebop in the chat, he is really good at this because of it. But know the sound of what your replica sounds like when you're dry firing, because I have totally dry fired, totally misfed, totally. But there are players out there that they go out there and they shoot and you go, are you shooting BBs out of your replica? Yeah, this guy's not calling his hit. And you go, whoa, hold on. Hold on, stop.
No, your chat, I'm sorry.
No, I know my chat gets fun sometimes. But know the sound that your replica makes when it doesn't shoot a BB, because it is very distinctive. Literally. Shoot it without a BB, put a mag in, shoot a BB. Shoot it without a BB, put a mag in, shoot a BB. It is very, very different, very audible, very noticeable sound. How many times have you dry fired at somebody and go, what the? Oh, crap. Ross. And how many times have people shot at you, like, I'm shooting you, like, dude, wind your mag. And they go, oh, yep. And they wind the mag and they go, oh, thanks.
Yep.
Like, because that causes a lot of controversy, is thinking that you're throwing BBs when you're not throwing BBs.
Gotta chime in, by the way. You guys in the comments are awesome. Like, you guys get it.
Oh, yeah.
The comment section is on fire. Keep it up, guys.
Oh, no, my guys, no, they get it. They totally get it, dude.
99% of Airsoft players, we're all in this for the same reason. We're all in this to have fun. Yeah. So, anyway, I guess.
Like I said, those are the things. Learn how to track your replica. Train yourself to keep up with those speeds. 270 miles an hour for a 1.5 joule replica. Mm-hmm. If you're at a point, if you're at a 0.2, obviously it's going to be a little slower, but you're still talking 100 miles an hour plus.
As you go up in weight, yeah.
Dude, have you ever seen a car burn by at 100 miles an hour? It's hard to track a car at 100 miles an hour, let alone a BB. So just learn how to track your BB as well. Always give the player the benefit of the doubt. Yep. Check yourself before you check the player and know what sound your replica makes when you're dry firing.
Just to go with what Royce said there, as players, if we think something's amiss, take a step back and evaluate the situation. It takes 5 seconds to do that. I'm shooting at this guy. I thought for sure I hit him, but he's also 200 feet away and hauling ass across an open field. Did I hit him? Maybe. Did he feel it? He may not have. I mean, put myself in that situation. Would I have noticed it? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe you don't have to evaluate it that deeply. But I
never discount a player in a dead run. So in my Knights Who Say Knee video,
I have not watched it yet. I need to.
But I'm running my MP5, and me and this guy, we bunker down in the barn area, and we're shooting over towards the RV and in between the RV and the school bus, right? You know what I'm talking about, in Field 1. Mm-hmm. He goes, really, dude? I'm like, and I look over at the guy because, again, I've really worked on training myself to track my BBs. I'm shooting a 1 joule build. He had a newer MP5. I'm assuming closer to 1.5 joules. But because we're so close together and we're shooting at the same person, I see my BBs, I see his. I was way in front of the guy. He was behind the guy. Hey, I was like, no, dude, I saw our BBs. I was like, you were a little behind. I was a little in front. We were kind of, splitting the baby there, And
we didn't hit him?
And I'm not even close. We weren't even, and the guy was like, oh, okay. And then we just sat there and just proceeded to, just like shoot in the area because the guy got behind that one, that piece of cover in between the RV and the school bus. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And so we just proceeded to light the guy up. Hand goes up and we're like, okay. But stuff like that, dude. And like learning how to track and learning how to help because if you learn how to track your own BBs, there's a good chance you can help a younger player who may not know how to track. There's listen to audible. Say, hey man, are you shooting? Let me see that mag. Zip, 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 zip. Try now. Okay, now you're shooting. Listen. Mm-hmm. That was one of the things that I had to do in the beginning. You got to listen.
So, I lost my train of thought again. MP5s, shooting. Okay, so yeah, just reiterating. Take a step back and reevaluate. 99% of airsoft. Oh, that's where I was going with this. As humans, all of us have a awful habit of over evaluating the bad and disregarding the good. Mm-hmm. The loudest people in the media are the ones accentuating on the bad stuff. We never hear about the good stuff, but man, we'll hear everything you did wrong. You'll never get a compliment. Or you'll do a million things right and never get a compliment. But the one time you mess up, the whole world will know.
The broken tile is the one that stands out.
Exactly.
Yep.
99% of airsoft players are honest people out there playing the game and having fun. And they want to have as much fun. They want the guy they're playing with or the guy they're shooting against to have as much fun as they are. But we all have this terrible habit of evaluating the bad. Is there that 1% out there that are just diehard cheating, not calling hits? You're watching BBs bounce off their 100%. Mask. They got no mag. They're not, absolutely.
I won't even deny that because there's no way I can be an honest person and say that doesn't happen. Although I do not promote it on my channel.
Thank you for that, by the way.
Yeah. Although I don't promote that on my channel because that's not how I want people to see what I experience in Airsoft. It does happen. Mm-hmm. It does happen to me. There are times it does happen in my videos. I leave it in, but I don't say anything about it.
Mm-hmm. Again, but 90% of airsoft players, or 99% of us, are honest players out there playing the game, having fun. And 99% of players, they get hit and they don't call it. They genuinely didn't realize they were hit. So it's the moral of the story here is it's understand as yourself, understand as a player what your replica is capable of, what you're personally capable of. Understand that there are factors out of your control. Understand that maybe the guy you're shooting at genuinely didn't feel it. Mm-hmm. Look at everything, and then if it really does come down to this guy is cheating, field marshals are there for a reason.
Yep. Yeah, and always go to the field. Never handle it yourself. Yes. Always go to the field marshal. Point it out.
You in trouble, and then your day goes to crap because you went and got yourself into a situation, and now the marshals are yelling at you.
Absolutely.
I think we can agree the marshals at every airsoft field in Colorado over the years have just escalated in their skills and in their skills.
And the field marshals
there to do.
And the marshals that we have here, they're great. They really are. So
every field has
guys,
everyone.
We ran a little bit long on that segment.
Announcement time?
No. Q&A, bro. We've got to do Q&A.
Yes, we do have to do Q&A. That is true. You guys.
So guys, Q&A. Obviously, we're a minute or two ahead of you guys. So start chiming in for any questions or comments that you might have for Ross. He is the best tech in Colorado that is running a business. The best tech in Colorado that's running a business.
I'm humbled. Thank you.
We know some serious techs though.
Yes.
There are a few guys that I know that just with some of the crazy things they think about, they probably got you beat.
Dude, there's a guy out there. This dude showed up to Airheads. He's got a scar, and he went through and designed. I don't know if he got the CAD file offline or if he designed it himself. I never asked him, and I really need to one of these days. But he's got 3D printed all these parts and turned this scar into this just badass bullpup scar. It is super cool.
No, that's a conversion kit that they sell.
Is it? This one. So the guy I was talking to, he said he 3D printed it.
I'm not saying that he didn't, but there is a conversion kit. Yes.
Too. And that thing is awesome. I mean,
so good. I would convert my scar.
It's cool. It's wicked cool. And there's a ton of talented
dude.
Techs in
The
Colorado.
guy that we know that did the double 40, 400 feet sniper, HPA, Wolverine.
Facts.
Yes.
Hard facts. That guy can tech.
Yeah, that guy can tech. That guy can tech. So,
spoiler alert, Jeff Swanson.
That's why I always say
badass tech.
That's why I always say this guy is the best tech in the state running a business.
I'm not going to claim that title. You can say
there are people that we know who can do it better than this guy, but they only do it on their stuff or they only do it on their friends' stuff. And my G36C Bloodhaven and my M14 Nightmare are, the proof is in the pudding with what this guy can do. And you guys can go check out those videos. All right, let's get into some...
Do we have questions?
Questions.
Are you coming this weekend? We're going to try to get him to come.
Saturday. Not Saturday, Sunday. My wife will be coming back out of town. She went out of town for a concert. And so I'm going to try to play on Sunday. I'm come out on Sunday, please.
If I can get out Sundays, as you have your family days. Sundays usually my family day. It's the one day we're all home.
Come on, ditch night game on Saturday. Ditch night game on Saturday for me, please. Spend it with me. Yes, you can.
Maybe
come on.
I can get out Sunday too.
No, because you say that and you won't.
Double whammy.
Please. All right, but anyway, I'm going to try out Sunday Go Airheads, guys. Sunday I will be out at Go Airheads, Airsoft Field. I will be running Bloodhaven, my G36C, possibly the Masada, or I don't think I have BBs, but I will always bring Wilson, my MP5.
Let's see. I can't think of a question. That is an excellent question, Convoy. Do better.
Yeah, Convoy, be better.
You,
I love Convoy, dude. He's such an awesome guy.
Unfortunate Sons are chiming in hard on your chat too. You guys are awesome.
Oh, dude, have you played with those guys yet?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay, good. Oh, I love those guys.
Absolutely.
I love them so much. I literally, I showed up and I didn't have anybody to chill with one day, and I was like, hey, and we just started BSing, and then the next time I literally showed up and just hung out with them. And they're such good people, dude. They're so...
Yes. Unfortunate Sons is one of multiple exemplary examples in Colorado of just an awesome team. They work beautifully together. They're honest players. They go out there. They have a blast every time.
They're a riot in staging, too.
Oh, God, yeah. It's a treat to play with them, and it's a hoot to play
against them. Soft Airco Chavez? How did D-Day go? What big AMS or West game are y'all planning on? Guys, I've never been to a Milsim, so I'm not... Are you guys planning on an event next year? Like, if you are, let me know.
Absolutely. And once we figure out what it is, we'll let you know. As far as D-Day goes, I'm going to refrain from commenting.
Okay. Was that the Mud Crab event?
Yes. The
okay.
There was a situation out of the staff's hand, and I don't feel right commenting on something that could negatively influence their event. That is just not. It's not fair for them.
Yeah.
It's not fair for people's opinion of their event to be justified or to be made based on how that event went, because it was out of their control. I will not. I will refrain from speaking on it so as not to affect them negatively.
No, I'll totally go if we can find a good event. I mean, that's actually why I built my new kit, guys, is because these guys actually asked me to go to an event with them, and my kit, I knew there. Everybody was like, no, your kit's good, and I'm like, no, my kit was not. I needed.
Love you guys,
and too. I didn't need much more, but they also ran tan kit. I had no tan kit, so there was, and everybody's like. And
all solid on your tan too, so you can 99% of milsims you can run that whether you're running tan or.
I just team. Bought that. I didn't have that 2 weeks ago.
I know. I'm saying like you went.
Yeah.
Load-bearing equipment. You went all tan, so you've got or you went solid colors. You didn't go patterns, so you have total flexibility at 90% of events to run green camo or tan camo. Most of them, it doesn't matter what your load-bearing kit is, as long as you're not sporting the opposing team's patterns.
But that's the thing is I didn't have half of my tan stuff is with my nephew, so he has my milsim, or he has my milsim multicam bottoms. I have my multicam tops. Other than that, I have woodland bottoms. So I would have multicam top, woodland bottoms. I'm pretty sure that probably we wouldn't have flown.
I have a woodland top you can borrow if we need.
No, I have a woodland top. I didn't have the multicam top. Woodland bottoms, multicam top. I don't have the multicam bottoms. So, had the top for multicam, did not have the bottoms for multicam. Otherwise, I'm running green, and you guys all ran tan. Now I have the ability to run both if I need to.
Right.
So, if I need to, I can run both now. Okay, let's move on. So,
you could change one thing in Airsoft forever, what would it be and why? Oh, God. That's a tricky question.
One thing in Airsoft,
are we talking?
I would love. Okay,
clarify the question. Are we talking
things
that are real? Like
I'm already there. Don't even care. Don't even care. One thing in Airsoft
that he doesn't care.
One thing in Airsoft that I would love to change. I would love to see, especially because insurance companies, most Airsoft companies use the same insurance companies. I would love to see a standardized rule set, at least if not nationally, just across the state. Hey guys, so if you have a replica tuned for a specific field, that replica is good to go at the other field. You know, you don't have to go, oh crap, what are their minimum engagement distances here? Because like for Go Airheads and for FAF, DMR, the engagement distances are different.
Yep.
And they're not even like a little bit different. They're like, it's like a 25-foot difference.
I'll tell you right now, it is actually their insurances. I'm talking to Josh. The reason their rule set for their rifles is as it is that is what their insurance company said you have to do.
No,
it's not his choice.
And I am totally fine with that. But I'm just saying, like, fields should say who has the most strict insurance company. Let's just run with those ones. Right. It just because it's just easier on the player base.
And that is something the fields around here could do.
It's so easy.
Whether they will, or
especially
because
it's literally like one or two rule changes, and I don't know. I would love to see a standardized rule set. Totally, just yeah. You named Convoy. Yes, I named my MP5 Wilson. I was about, for the adults in the room, I was about a 12-pack in. I've literally had my MP5s for a year to this date now. And one of them is now owned by Big Red, but I had both of them. I had the SD6 and I had the MP5A4.
They're talking about nods.
And I know. And so what happened is I was sitting there like, all my buddies are naming their replicas, and I was like a 12-pack in at the time, and it was the weekend or whatever. And my wife had gone down to Denver to pick up these 2 MP5s for me. And I looked at them and I should name them something because all my friends are naming stuff. And I was like, all right, I'm going to call this one Barry and I'm going to call this one Wilson. And when I put them together, they are Barry Wilson. Thinking about from Thor Ragnarok, I call this one Dez and this one Troy, and when I put them together, they destroy. So I call this one Barry, I call this one Wilson, and when I put them together, they are Barry Wilson. And I was a 12-pack in at the time, and I hadn't eaten a lot that day, so I was a little. But Wilson is mine now, and then Barry actually belongs to Big Red.
Convoy, you're kind of going back there. You guys were talking about nods a little bit. Your nod is definitely not garbage.
King size 52.
It has its purpose. It has its area where it excels. This particular application, not as much, but it has its places where that thing.
His is actually really decent, dude. I would totally throw that thing.
That's being Gen 1. That thing was awesome. I don't know what you're talking about with garbage, man.
Yeah,
You've got a nice piece of equipment there,
dude. I would would throw that on my MP or on my Masada and totally run that at night.
Right.
Just for weight distribution, because it is really big. But for weight, dude, I would totally throw that on my Masada and run that. Because here's the thing: is it as good as yours? No. Is it way better than nothing? Oh hell yeah! Exactly. It is, and it is really, especially once you use and Bill's IR illuminator, because you showed me that.
Bill's IR illuminator was a riot to run.
Dude, that was awesome. Like a beacon. That was just like a floodlight, just
and the whole field is lit up for anybody under night.
Anyway. So great.
Announcement time?
No, we're still doing questions.
In case you guys couldn't tell, I'm really excited about this.
Through the yes, would agree. Bro, Gen 3 for the win. Don't play enough to just card win a night vision. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Hey, runner, what do you think about the new Speed Soft gun? Yeah or nay? The one that looks like a paintball gun? Honestly, I don't have any issues with it. If you're running Speedsoft, run for it, dude. I don't care. That's your style. That's your thing.
Half of Airsoft is I like what I'm
playing with. Like, who cares if you like, I don't do Speedsoft, but if we had a good indoor field here in Colorado, there's a really good chance. I mean, I might run something like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, dude. Like, it looks kind of cool. Like, it looks kind of like a paintball replica. So I kind of dig that they found a way to kind of merge the two. Like, that's totally cool. I might even run one. I might run like a red one, like just like burning red one. I don't know, man. And anybody who wants to give up, anybody who wants to talk about looks and stuff, guys, I don't run M4s. I don't personally own an M4. So everybody's like, well, dude, just like when you go to a milsim and use this, I don't have that. I don't have an M4. I don't run them because of looks. Because I see them everywhere. And for me, in Airsoft, they're boring. If I want to go run and play with an AR in real life, I can go to a shooting range with I have access to plenty of ARs.
You have permission to use his night vision scope.
Oh, sweet. Thank you, Convoy. Ooh, that would be sick.
These guys are talking about Riot Shields. I'm going to say this. Right there with the ballistic weight.
What did the new Speedsoft gun?
I wouldn't be caught dead with it. Is it cool looking? Absolutely. For players who like to play with that, it's perfectly built for that.
See,
I wouldn't be caught dead with it.
Well, no, but we all run milsim kit. We run milsim kit, so for those purposes, no. But you know what? I don't like beanies, but I'd totally throw a Speedsoft kit on and go run an indoor field. Come on, tell me.
Yeah, okay, I can't say.
You know what I mean?
Some of the most fun times I've had at Airheads are the nights I've gone out to play Adult Swim in my civvies. Bare minimal kit.
Yep.
Just go and play. Those are a blast.
Dude, I ran Chernobyl with my belt on in case I needed my pistol. But for the most part, I have my G36C with a drum mag on it. Like, it doesn't get a whole lot more Speedsoft than that. All I needed to do is just...
a lot more Speedsoft.
No, I know, but you know what I mean. But yeah, no, I think it's fine. I totally think it's fine. What do you think about that? What do you think about Riot Shields? Realistic type in weight and all. I think Riot Shields that are realistic in weight, 100% fine with them if the player is restricted to using a sidearm only. If it's just some kid running out there with a plastic dinky thing that they got off like e-bike, and I'm not saying anything bad about you, but they're not Riot, they're not ballistic shields. They're Riot Shield, the little ones that people wear on their arm like a shield. I hate those things. I think they're stupid. They piss me off when I see them on the field because it's just a cheater way to not get hit. I'm sorry.
Do you know what they're perfect for though? The marshals. We've all seen those use Alamo. You got a marshal sitting in the corner trying to watch the game.
They are great for the marshals, but no, realistic weight. So king size 52, love real weight, love that something that somebody can pick up and set down as a wall. Love that stuff. I am down with all of that. I absolutely agree. What do you think about realistic weight Riot Shields?
Like I said, I'm right there with it. Realistic weight for realistic weight being used. Why not? You've got a huge disadvantage of a ton of weight.
But you do also have the other advantage of being able to carry like 4 guys behind you potentially if it's real.
Mm-hmm.
And so
one grenade can do a lot of damage.
No, one grenade can do a lot of damage, but now you don't have a guy that's just running around with a freaking M4 and just a little dinky thing, just spraying. Like, I hate that crap. But you get a guy who his sole purpose, his job is to move his guys.
Yep.
I am 100% okay with it.
That's Milson Westrel said it's like that. You have to have a real ballistic shield if you want to carry one. There's a minimum weight. I don't know what it is.
They're freaking heavy, though.
I've been told, I've heard 20 pounds and I've heard 60 pounds. I think
it's closer to 60. I've heard
some of the guys on CX run the real steel, or not CX. Is it CX or Russian? CX and Russians are two different teams. I think they're
two different teams, but they share members.
Yes.
In Colorado,
a lot of the Russian guys. There's a few of those guys who have Russian ballistic shields, and they use them at the and
they're heavy.
So they're the guys to talk to if you want to know what it's like to actually run one of those.
Skylar Graham, what would be the least brightest light you'd use for a night game? The least brightest. Oh, red light. We were talking about this red light. If you really don't want to blind somebody, you want to invest in a red light. So it's red. It's just a red light.
I guess it kind of depends here too.
Because his purpose is that he needs to be able to see.
Yeah.
And then probably play, but not blind the other players.
So actually, Skylar, that night vision optic that Convoy has, that's where that thing's niche is gonna be. Going for something like that,
but that was like a few $100.
It is.
Guys. Okay, so here's the thing, guys. I'm gonna blind you for a moment.
Full send. That's cute.
That was $20.
That's cute.
$20 with the Picatinny mount, with the push button, with the button, and it's not that bright.
But it still does
it's a UTG. It's the UTG. Go to Amazon. UTG Picatinny flashlight. $20. It's not that bright. Really works at night. I don't know if. Using a white light, you're always going to blind people. But if you still want to be able to see, it's $20. It's cheap. It is nowhere remotely close to as bright as some of the other weapon lights out there. I recommend it. I ran it. You were with me at Chernobyl. You saw it in night game. It does really, really well, and it's just not a monster on the brightness. But you're still, if you point it directly at someone's face, just be respectful, because white light, especially going through goggles and stuff, there's just no way to really avoid that.
And I remember too, like if I may be speculating or going completely the wrong direction here, Skylar. So if I am, forgive me. But if you're using a light at night, it doesn't matter how bright or dim it is. The second that light comes on, it is a beacon for everyone around you. It stands out. It stands out blatantly. Even a little pen light, it instantly everyone can see it. So at that point, it's just go as bright as you can. And if you can't, it's part of flashlight is so you can see what you're looking at, and part of it is disorient your opponent. That's part of their purpose. So if you got to kick on a light, go with something bright and disorientate your opponent, or make it so it's harder for them. They're going to see the light come on. They're going to know your general area. But I can't tell how many times I'm sitting there shooting at a flashlight and I'm nowhere near the guy because I can't tell from the starburst exactly where he is. Mm-hmm. The same concept, Yeah. Go bright, go ham.
Top Shots 11, my boy from all the way across the U.S. All right, so he's got this question. He goes, so this is going to be the last question because he's got an announcement to make. So Top Shots, you got the last question of the night because we do have to get going, and you guys are talking amongst yourself. What would you think of a Rainbow Six Siege Airsoft game with character gadgets like Blitz Shield or Ash Grenade Launchers or Blackbeard Shield? Do you know any of that?
I am not familiar with the game, but I'm down for anything that incorporates out of the ordinary stuff as long as the game mechanics can make it work.
I'm gonna agree with you on that, dude. I don't play video games. I know Rainbow Six is a thing.
It's a first person shooter,
dude. But man, I wish I could answer that better, dude. I don't play video games. That's actually why I do Airsoft. I play Airsoft on the weekends, and then I edit video throughout the week. Convoy, fill me in. Convoy, if you know, call me and it'd be like, hey, dude, you're dumb. This is what he was talking about. But Top Shots, I'm so sorry. I wish I could, Top Shots, I wish I could answer that a little better. But what he said If we can get anything that's out of the norm, anything that works, and make sure that a rule set works, which I think anything can work, we just have to, we as players, and then we have to find good refs. We can make it work. We can make it work totally. All right. We're going to close the show out, but we have a major announcement. So for Colorado players, major announcement time.
God, I'm so pumped for this.
All right, Ross, what the hell is it called?
I have had to.
Do you have a name?
Yes. I have had to bite my tongue for
What's the name?
4 months. But my dudes, my guys, October 25th, Go Airheads, Day of the Living Deadheads. We are hosting what we are hoping will be the most badass zombie game you guys get to come and play. I can't contain myself.
October 25th, Friday night, Day of the Deadheads.
Night of the Living Deadheads.
Night of the Living Deadheads.
By tomorrow, you guys
October
will see
25th, guys. It's going to be a great event. He's actually already talked with me. He talked with me for about.
This guy's involved in it. He's one of
like
our,
a week
one
or
of
two.
our role players.
Yeah, there's a good. I'll probably be showing up. I've already told my boss. I was like, hey, I'm probably going to need. I might just take the day off.
You need that.
Or
day
do a
off,
half.
my dude.
So. But no, guys, we're going to go out there. It's going to be a phenomenal zombie event. We are going to have quite a few players out there.
Tread carefully, my good sir.
Hold on. We are going to have a bunch of surprise elements when it comes to the zombies because we are doing a zombie event. We are having dedicated zombies.
Yes.
That's the thing, guys. People, how many ballpark are you feel?
I'm not going to elaborate on that. So
we got some zombie. All right, we got some zombie,
Hey girl, you want some zombie?
But
I got you, Blue.
I got you. You're my boy, Blue. You're my boy.
Copyright.
I hated that movie. But anyway, guys, super awesome zombie event that has been done up. There is a storyline, and I think I can say this without giving anything away. He really wanted to make this, because this is all him. He's been working on this for like 3 or 4 months.
I've had help,
and we've been talking about it. And basically what he was like is, I want to take a video game and make it light and just make it an airsoft game. And he took influences here and there.
Yep. I mean, if any, what is it? So the best way I could think of to describe this event. Are we doing the live stream on this next week?
We will be doing a live stream next week.
Definitely tune in next week, guys. So tune in next week, guys. We're going to go as detailed as we can without spilling.
Night of the Living Deadheads. Day of the Living Dead.
I spaced on the name. I didn't come up with the name.
Go Airhead Zombie Game, October 25th. Yes. Be there at 6 p.m.
No, we'll release. Go Airheads will be releasing here shortly. All of the information, the itinerary, pricing, all of that. It'll be on all the social media pages. They'll be making announcements every weekend. Probably going to make an announcement tomorrow at the games. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, guys, this is going to be
a complete, full immersion, semi-open, open world, semi-role playing. Take a standalone zombie video game, a full standalone. That is all it is. That's what we're doing, guys. Mm-hmm. This is. I mean, next week we're gonna go into detail as much as we can without spilling.
Please,
too much,
for the love of God, bring a printout or something. Just bring bullet points. Bring bullet points.
So hop on the page.
Just bring bullet points.
I got.
No,
this.
you bring bullet points.
I'll bring
next
the bullet
week.
points.
So I guess next week's live stream is planned, guys. No, but I was talking with Ross about this, and now here's the thing. We've talked about this. There is a potential. There's a potential. If this one is successful, like all airsoft events, they may do another one. And they may add in some rules that I came up with if we get another one. And those rules are legit. They wanted to do the first one and test it and go, hey, if it's successful, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, make this successful for me because I need some of the rules that I came up with because
it's some pretty cool ideas.
I literally told Ross and he was like, "Oh crap." But no, guys, it sounds great. There's
all the details behind it. What are your thoughts? Because everything.
You start at level 0, and you work your way through level whatever the hell it is you decided. I don't remember. But you start at level 0.
Don't give away too much.
Shut up! Okay, you're giving away more than I am. Guys, it's a video game. They took this idea, and they were like, they took video game structure and kind of how a video game would work with like some tutorial stuff and like advancing through and things. And it builds through the night, and it turns into this really just climactic, epic, just point at the end over multiple hours. It's got, what was the total event? Like 4 or 5 or 6 or 20 or 72 hours? I don't even remember.
Yeah, we're running like a 7. I think it's going to be a full.
I think it's like a 145-hour game. So
it's the way we have the itinerary out. It will go up to 6 hours of continuous. And this is not a it's a night game. So
it's
a night game, and it's a continuous game.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is you guys coming out to play. You're coming out to play as a human all night. This is not Call of Duty Zombies. This is not going to be it's not a Call of Duty Zombies game. It's not a infection game.
Yeah.
The mechanics of this game are dynamic throughout the entire night. So it's not.
We're gonna keep you interested.
Run linear. It's amazing.
The one thing I can say is that players throughout the night. I think
that's called a cat.
Oh, hi, Jess. Sorry, there were shadows moving. The ghosts in my house are freaking out.
They're excited for the zombie game that you're all coming
especially
to, right?
as you start to advance through the evening, the players are going to be on their toes, and that is what I'm most excited for. I just want to see players on their toes because here's the thing, guys. Shut the fuck up. I'm going to be a zombie, guys. You're going to be able to shoot me. I'm going to be a zombie. I'm just throwing that out there. I don't give a fuck.
Facts.
So,
I am too.
All right. We're going to be zombies, guys. You're going to be able to shoot us. And as a player, I wish I would have... I half wanted to be a player, but I was like,
the zombies are having trouble
because I'm doing this to support my guy. Because I'm doing this to support my guy, dude. And I love this.
You want to chase people around all night. I know you do.
Well,
you do. Don't deny it.
I got my nickname Walker for a reason. But anyway, guys,
it's the Walker Walking
But here's
Dead.
the thing. What I'm excited is I really want to make this event work really well because I'm going to be a zombie. And as a player in any sort of long game format, I love being on my toes. And I want to be able to give the opportunity to get somebody else on their toes. And if it does become successful, the next one, I want to be able to be a player and be on my toes. Hi, fat kitties.
So two questions that did come up I will answer. One, it's not rated M because it's normal age limit for the field.
Yep.
So those
10 and up will be able to show up.
Secondly, so someone was asking, is it going to be like the Ballahack event? So
no,
despite the fact I've been to Ballahack, we had all the rules. After I finalized the rules, this guy actually showed me the video for the zombie game. I had no idea they did that game. After watching the videos, there will be some similarities, but how we're running
guys,
the idea of open world will be the same, but other than that, the similarities end.
Guys, it's a zombie game.
Yes.
There's going to be similarities. Like, if you're watching an action movie, 10-1, you're going to see an explosion at some point. Like, there's only, there are going to be similarities because guess what? It's a freaking zombie game. So there are tropes, there are things that we expect as in our culture that need to happen with a zombie game, and those are just gonna get incorporated. So you're probably gonna see something but don't be like, well, this other field did that better. Well, that's super awesome, but we did that in combination with these other things that we wanted to do. There are gonna be similarities. No different than that. An action movie would have an explosion or a really awesome gun shootout, or now they're going in for that super awesome jiu-jitsu fight at the end. You're gonna see those things. It's a freaking zombie game, so there might be some similarities with some other games. But
so in terms of open world and running missions and stuff like that, there's similarities as far as how the zombies work and their mechanics. Ours are completely different. The rule set and how we're operating our zombies are completely different.
And
we'll go into
with that being
that
said,
next week.
Tune back next Friday for RDD Airsoft Works, and we are going to finish the talks. We're going to talk about it next Friday, guys. So before this guy decides to give too much away, because he gives a lot away by telling other people not to give enough away.
Anything that needs to stay secret. I'm the one who told you guys what not to disclose. So.
Yeah, I know, and I wasn't going to say anything. You're like, don't tread carefully.
I got nervous. I got nervous. You almost said a thing. But moving on.
I didn't say a thing. Oh, no. By the way, I specifically phrased my stuff purposefully to make you nervous.
I dislike you with a passion, my dude.
And with that being said, my name is Royce. I am your runner. This is Ross. He is RDD Airsoft Works. Link down in the description below if you guys need him to do any work on your Airsoft replicas. I have 2 cats getting ready to fight, children upstairs that I need to tend to, and Airsoft that I need to prepare for on Sunday. So
thank you guys so much for tuning in and repping my guy here.
I hope to see you all next time right here on Runner Airsoft. Peace out, guys, and thank you so much for joining us.
Play safe and have fun, guys. We'll see you on the field.